Coach, welcome.
Thank you. We first want to thank the Tournament of Rosies Committee for a great week. It's been a long week. It's been a long month. And then just talking to Coach Saban, I know the coaches and the players are ready to go and see who is the best team in the country. It's been when you have a month and 2 days to prepare, what you do is you go back and try to correct all the mistakes that you made at the end of the season, and at the same time prepare for the best team in the country, that the number one team in the country that's well coached and very talented. And it's challenging, but at the same time it's exciting to see how you match up against the best. We also have so many of our current NFL guys coming back for the game. It'll be fun. I think there's about 17 to 20 that have said that they'll be here. A number of them have already come out to practice and have been around the team and were able to speak to the team, so it's fun to have them back. But excited about the game. When you start with 120 teams and it's down to 2, that's about 12,000 players, and it's a great honor for your players and your coaches to be in this game. Questions?
On the far left, front row.
Hey, Matt, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Jeff Power, News 8 Austin. Give us your thoughts about what makes Nick Saban so successful.
I really admire what Nick's done. If you look at what he's done, he's coached at every level. He's been an assistant coach, a coordinator, head coach at 3 different schools now, and done very well in all of those. He's a successful professional assistant and head coach, so he gets it. He's driven. He works very hard. His teams are very disciplined. They're well coached, and he wins at everything he touches. So I just think when you see what he does, you just admire the way he handles his business, the way he runs his program. He's in charge, he's confident, and his teams play like that.
Back row on the right.
Bob Ballou, CBS Austin. Coach, is back here, Coach.
Where are you, Bob? There you go.
Is 32 days too long between games, and what can be done to change that, even if there's no playoff?
For the coaches, it's probably not. I mean, we can use it all. For the players, they lose part of their Christmas, they lose part of their New Year, and as we all talk about trying to take care of the players, our guys go back to school here in about a week, and then we have spring practice the end of February. So I wish there was a way that we could move this game at least back maybe a week. And I think that when you see it for the kids, because of what's at stake, they're excited about it. Now I want to be here. So I don't want to insinuate it anyway. Our guys are griping about how much time they've spent. But it's a lifetime experience for them. But I do think that if it could be cut down, it would be better. Our game in the Fiesta Bowl last year was the 4th, and we thought that was even manageable. But when you get to the 7th, I think the game last year was the 8th. It starts getting into the semester. I think Alabama had to call school off for 2 or 3 days because they were getting ready to start school before the game. And then a lot of our friends that are teachers and coaches had to start school again and couldn't come out to the game.
Back row on the left.
Coach Brown, ABC El Paso, Texas, back here.
Okay.
Talk about the emotion of your team. Have you had to clamp down on them, or do you want to clamp down on them this final couple of days?
When you've got 122 guys and 64 of them will play, they all have different personalities. It's like you'd nearly like to get them in different rooms and try to get each one of them ready to play separately. Because if you take Sergio Kendall and Colt McCoy, it's hard to give them the same speech. So you have to look at different speeches when you're different things. So what we try to do is throw enough stuff on the wall that some of it sticks for each one of them. So you try to excite this one this way and this one this way, and we challenge our assistant coaches and our coordinators to work with their groups. We challenge each player to get himself motivated in the way he needs to win this ball game. And then my job is to try to make sure that there's some balance, that it's one of the unique things about bowl games. How much do you hit? Because you have to hit because you take the month off. You don't want to hit too much to get them tired. You don't want to hit too much to get them hurt. How much do you do your best against your best? When you're playing a team like Alabama that's so talented, you need to play against fast guys and tough guys. So we've done that for a full month. How much do you condition? And then how tired do they get when they practice and they handle the bowl routine and they're out at the functions? So it's really a unique experience to try to get a team ready for a one-game season that means this much for 3.5 hours. What we will do is have a blend of some fun tomorrow with them before the game, and again, give them the last-minute adjustments that we feel like that they need to focus on to win a game.
Third row on the right.
Rachel Barbeau, Tuscaloosa News. How are you, Coach?
Hey, Rachel.
I talked to some of your players yesterday, and they were talking about Texas football. And I asked them, what is Texas football? And they said it was fast, furious, fun, physical, with a swagger, playing with a swagger. I was just interested in your definition of Texas football.
Well, they usually say what we say. They usually repeat it, Rachel. So very honestly, you want to be fast. You want to have fun. You want to be physical. And I wasn't the smartest guy in the world, so one day I said, it's full of F's. Be fast, have fun, be physical. And they all said, yeah, boy.
Middle back.
Some of them didn't get it. That bothered me more.
On your right, Coach.
Coach, Leslie McCaslin, News 8 Austin. Right
Yes,
here.
Leslie.
A lot of your players, especially the younger ones, talked yesterday about how they can't imagine what they're going to feel like when they step on the field for the first time during the game. As a coach, even though you've been here 3 times now, do you take a moment to relish when you first get out there at the beginning of the game?
When we came here in 04 for the 05 Michigan game, I thought it was the coolest thing, and I didn't know what to do, because a young guy from Cookeville, Tennessee would never be able to coach or play in the Rose Bowl. Same thing for Alabama. I grew up an Alabama fan. I watched Coach Bryant, but you didn't come west. You know, you played in the Cotton Bowl, and you played in the Orange Bowl, and you played in the Sugar Bowl, but this was taboo for us. So I actually called John Robinson, who I admired Coach McKay so much, who won a bunch of Rose Bowls at SC, and Coach Robinson. So I called Coach Robinson and said, help me with what to do. What's the Rose Bowl like? Tell me about the parade. Tell me about what the kids are supposed to do. And what he said was very unique. He said it's very, very hard to get to the Rose Bowl as a player or a coach. Very few people ever get to do it. And what you need to do is be really proud. And when you stand out in the field before the game, make sure you go out there by yourself, stand in a corner, look up in those beautiful mountains, see the sun setting, and say, this is pretty cool. And then he said, go back and do what you always do. Because he said, but take a moment to appreciate it. I'm not sure when you're wanting to win as badly as the Alabama kids are and the coaches and the Texas kids and coaches are right now, I'm not sure you can appreciate it. Because to have 3.5 hours to win a national championship is so unique that it's so important that you'll probably reflect on it later. When we looked at the Michigan win, we thought it couldn't get any better than that. The next year we beat SC, and we said, ooh, this is better than that. So now you're back to the now. And this game is very important to both teams. They're historic programs, very proud fan bases in both cases. The history of the game is so important to both. Coach Royal is still alive and has things named after him. I think Coach Bryant still walks the halls in Tuscaloosa, and he has things named after him. But everybody that sees the A and sees the Longhorn, they know the programs. And that's what makes this game so special.
Fourth row on the left.
Hi, Coach. Kim Hendricks with NBC in Montgomery, Alabama. Good
Yes.
to see you.
Good to see you.
You're known for bringing in speakers to visit with your team, motivate them before games. Did you bring in anyone in particular for this game? And tell us how you've seen those visits affecting your team and yourself.
What you'd like to do is use the platform as a head coach to help educate your guys and try to help them learn some life lessons, because you have their attention before a game like this. Or when they've got a great team, they'll listen. The chemistry is good. And at the FCA breakfast yesterday, the young man, Jake, that had lost his eyesight, that has been around the SC team, was there and spoke. And I think we all teared up. I mean, to see how tough a young guy is at his age. And we can constantly learn. When we were watching the Super Bowl 2 years ago, there was a gentleman that caught my attention, Lieutenant Colonel Greg Gadsden. And he had his legs blown off in Iraq, and I was able to go to the Middle East and spend 8 days this summer, and got a new appreciation of number one, the young people that are out there trying to save our lives every day so we can play a game like this, and number two, that every time that they get up and walk out of their barracks, they have a chance to die.